Epilogue. Can you imagine being the motherfucker that made all these games and just being like, oh my god, he has a stalker! That's what this guy is.
We're like forgetting that this is like a fake story, but it's like so good. This is so good. I thought this was total crap, but now I realize that this is so good.
More love, more praise, more people telling me that I'm good. Always more. It's like a disease.
He's saying that he needs positive feedback to feel whole. He relies on his, like, self-esteem, like, hearing it from other people. And these are things that he didn't even create himself. So he just needs to feel like his opinions are important.
Thankfully, I have imposter syndrome, and so does Stacy. So we both reject it immediately.
we reject positive feedback at once.
I'm trying to train my brain to, like, be like, no, this is good. No, this is good. No, this is good. And it's fine.
Fun fact, I actually accused Mari of going through some of the videos that I had made and deleting all of the negative comments because I was like, there's too many positive comments.
Oh, yeah, people... Okay, so Stacy genuinely thought that I was secretly... to be fair, I used to do this a long time ago when we first started, but that's because, like, people were assholes, but I don't do that anymore. But, like, Stacy thought I was secretly deleting all the negative comments on her videos so that she would, like, never be exposed to anything bad. And here's what I went through when, like, the channel... when episode 3, or episode 2, whichever one of those, of Life is Strange came out, I got really, really depressed. Even though, like, we were getting messages every day being like, you guys are so amazing. And for some reason, that was making me so depressed that I didn't even want to get up.
Is it because you feel like you're just going to disappoint people someday?
Pretty much.
I know that's, like, something.
That's, like, I was like, I'm just going to let you down. You shouldn't even believe in me.
Or, like, I don't deserve it. Yeah.
And then I remember the developers being like, yeah, we like that was so cool. Like, we watched your Let's Play, and I was like, thanks. And, like, the first few hours I felt really good, and then my brain started being like, they're lying to you. They're just saying that because they feel sorry for you and they think you're crazy, and everybody's gonna find out that you're actually a crazy person. And then I was, like, so depressed for no reason. I had every reason to be happy, and I was just miserable. And then I was like, you know what? Hey, everybody, I'm a crazy person. And everyone's like, that's fine. And I was like, you're not gonna yell at me? Okay. So... Anyway.
So if you get depressed and you feel like you have, quote unquote, no reason to, that's actually very normal.
Yeah. Well, yeah, okay. I had every reason to be depressed because my brain is weird. But
I mean, like, some people get really up in their head about, like, my life, there's nothing wrong with my life. Why am I still so sad? And it's okay. Like, a lot of people feel that way. It's just that, you know, your brain might be having trouble with your feelings, even though there are no external factors that are going wrong. Like, it's still okay to wrestle with your feelings, you know?
Yeah, I was having a really weird time. I was like, why am I so sad? Everyone's telling me I'm great. And then my brain's like, they're lying.
They're lying to you.
And if they tell you you're great, the only thing that's going to happen is you're going to let them down one day. And I'm like, okay. And then I started being like, every time I have that thought, I'm going to be a noxious asshole and tell myself that I'm amazing. And that kind of works sometimes. That's my solution to imposter syndrome. I don't know if it works, but maybe if I lie to myself enough, it'll be true.
Is to just believe in your own awesome.
Yeah, you know how, like, Gabby from Just Between Us, if you guys don't know who that is, you guys gotta watch them. But you know how,
Yeah, Just Between Us is amazing.
like, there was this one episode where they talk about confidence, and Gabby actually admits that she's extremely insecure.
Yeah.
But she's just like, but I decided to just not do that, and decided that I'm going to be awesome and love myself. And I was like, oh, that's such a good idea, Gabby.
Solution.
So did you make this part, or did you steal this too?
I don't even know how, like, is any of this even real?
Oh, I don't think the whole thing is real.
I guess if someone had told me ahead of time that he just really enjoyed making prison games, maybe I wouldn't have thought he was so desperate. I wouldn't have told so many people that he was depressed.
Whoa,
Maybe
dude.
he just likes making prisons.
Why did you tell me?
Okay. See, this is like what happens when you like psychoanalyze other people and you never. This sometimes happens when people like try to tell us what our friendship is like.
Oh yeah.
And tell us what we're like as people when they actually only hear maybe like 5% of the conversations that we ever have together recorded.
I get weird messages. Stacy gets weird messages. We both get weird messages being like, trying to like dissect who we are. And I was like, listen, dude, I've been assessed several times. I know all of my issues. Okay?
Even now, the disease is telling me to stop. Don't show people what a shitty person you are. They'll hate you.
This game's getting really real.
Yeah.
But I feel like I relate to, it's like, yeah, Stacey and I get these like really weird messages being like, I don't know.
Or like, why don't you let Stacey express her opinions? Like, why is your friendship abusive? And I was like, what?
First of all, try not to paint Stacey as a victim.
That's how you don't appreciate it. It's like him telling everybody that he's depressed, and the guy turns around and he's like, what are you talking about? You know?
Yeah, it's like, oh, you know what? The last thing, and of course I can say this, and I can barely even say it because I'm still not Stacey's brain. But I just like, okay, like you have no idea the things we do. I don't think people like they hear what happens in the Let's Play, and they're like, "Oh, Stacey like doesn't make as many videos because Mari doesn't let her." And I'm like, actually, you should probably ask Stacey this, and Stacey will say that she
if
is.
I knew that my life depended on finding something to be driven by other than validation, what would that even be? It's strange, but the thought of not being driven by external validation is unthinkable. Like, I actually cannot conceive of what that would be like.
I would say that I have a full-time job and I'm a full-time student, and that keeps me very, very busy.
You technically have 2 jobs because you have the Geek Remix channel as well.
Yeah, so I have 2 jobs and I'm a full-time student. Not a part-time student, a full-time student. So I am very busy. And as much as I like to prioritize the channel like whenever I can, it is not my first priority.
But the thing is that people don't know that. People make assumptions that are so wild and misinformed because they don't know anything about Stacey other than what they've seen on 30 videos.
Yeah.
Where you only hear her voice and all this shit. And I'm like, guys,
I'm also just like, I think I'm just like a little more quiet than you are, and that's not like necessarily bad. It doesn't mean that you talk over me, you know?
No, I take a lot of effort into making sure that Stacey
I never
feels
feel
heard.
like my voice isn't heard, you know? I speak out whenever I have something to say.
Exactly. You know, sometimes when people don't talk as much, that means what they say is way more like special.
Yeah,
I mean?
I hear what you're saying.
It's like,
I
think a lot.
Yes. Pensive.
I think I need to go.
Yeah, this guy.
And I'm sorry, because I know that I said that I would be here and I would walk you through this, but I'm starting to feel like I have a lot of work to do.
On
I have
himself.
a lot that I need to make up for. And so I'm just gonna... Okay.
This game got so real.
Yeah, this is a very interesting experience. I'm very glad that we finished this.
Yeah, because we were getting so annoyed with this narrator
Yeah.
at all of his character flaws, or what we thought was a character flaw, but wasn't actually an intentional fit character flaw.
Well, no, I don't think. Yes. It depends on how, like, meta you want to meta the game, you know? Like, if you want to say that he intentionally put that in there because he's trying to point out the character flaw, or whether if you choose to believe that you're actually going along for the ride, like, with him at the same time, you know what I mean? That, like, we are concurrent with his realization as opposed to him, like, making it and then us
I think
coming
both ways are equally valid, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because I love that I just totally got taken for a trip where I was just proven completely wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And I really, really like that a lot. Like, that happens so rarely.
I am so right all the time.
It's true.
That's me.
I am right all the time. It's very difficult. But what I'm saying is, it's like, that just happens so rarely in anything, and in a movie or anything, where they're like, they totally dupe you.
Yes, I like that. It's nice.
I like that they were like, no, Mari, you're an idiot. And I was like, oh my god, I'm an idiot.
Oh my god!
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
I'm like really happy because I'm just thinking back to an hour ago when Stacy and I were standing in the kitchen being like, ugh!
This fucking guy.
This guy is so annoying, and, like, he doesn't even give a shit. Like, why doesn't he just let us think about what the game's about instead of telling us, blah, blah, blah.
Notice how, like, I love how, like, the narrations, like, trailed off at a certain point. Like, when I feel like we would have more thoughts to share.
Yes.
So we get to, like, naturally fill in that space.
I'm glad.
Yes.
I'm glad that I got duped.
Oh, there's a trapdoor.
And you know what? Someone on the Let's Play someone watching this is probably like, oh my god, shut up and play the game. I want to know what happens.
That, I know.
And then we're like...
There's probably a bunch of people like that in the comments right now being like, oh, well, these bitches just shut the fuck up. Please.
I don't care about your interpretation of his interpretation of the interpretation of the game. And we're like, no, this is a Let's Play. And they're like, well, why are you complaining? And I'm like, I don't know.
I don't know.
This is making me think about myself in ways that I don't want to.
This is so uncomfortable.
This is uncomfortable because it's making me think about myself as a human being, and I don't like it. Oh, okay. I wonder if I can go all the way back up. Looks like a train station.
Yeah, it looks like we're back in the train station, kinda. What?
I'm just thinking about the part where I'm like, oh, you're crazy. You're a crazy stalker. And he's like, don't talk to me anymore.
Yeah.
You're really weird. And he knew that he was going to break his game.
Mm-hmm.
So then after he broke the game, he was like, bitch, I knew you were going to break my game. Here's all these not even passive aggressive, regular aggressive messages to you being like, go away.
Yeah.
I swear to God, if someone leaves a comment psychoanalyzing me after I just said don't psychoanalyze me, I'm gonna yell at you. I'm gonna yell at you so hard.
Yeah, it's not a nice thing to do.
Yeah.
I don't know if people realize that. It's just like, it's not very polite. It's like, because we're not characters, you know?
Yeah, you know that we character analyze characters because characters aren't real?
Yeah.
And
Like
that
somebody created them.
they're not real. And to psychoanalyze like a real person is really douchey.
Especially because you're probably not a licensed health professional.
Nope.
Kill yourself!
How meaningful. Oh, the game's over. Oh.
Ooh. It's an endless maze.
Man, I thought this game was going to be really annoying, but
Wow.
it's not at all.
And that's the funny part, is that you have to go on the full journey of being like so fucking annoyed with him to like really appreciate the final conclusion that it comes to. No wonder this game is only an hour and a half long.
Yeah, you can't,
You would not be able to play it any more than that.
I need to find a way to get people to like stick with this game without giving it away. Because I'm going to be like... Okay, this game made me think introspectively in a way where I'm like, I don't want to think about that.
Yeah.
Which usually is the mark of good writing. Where
Wow.
You're like, I don't want to think about myself.
Turn by.
What? And don't forget to be nice.
That's some metagame shit.
I'm brave, let me keep.
I think that was on purpose.
Yeah.
That was super neato.
Yeah, it was.
What did you think?
Okay, so I definitely had kind of like a there was like an ebb and flow of like my interest and annoyance, because I'm gonna be completely honest, like when I started like to feel annoyed with the narrator, I was like, figures, because I fucking hated the Stanley Parable, and I was kind of like I didn't go into the game like expecting it to suck, but I also was like completely comfortable with the possible outcome that I wouldn't like it. And so I didn't get like quite as pissed off, I feel like, as you did. Like, I wasn't quite as angry because I feel like you had higher hopes for the beginning.
Yeah.
However, I was a little slower to come around to it, even when he made the realization. And then when he posted like the sections of the email, basically with the guy being like, fuck off, like, don't psychoanalyze me, I was like, no, this is perfect, because this reminds me exactly of like
How we're treated?
yes.
Yeah. No, yeah, those parts, and I was like, and then I was thinking like, okay, so am I respecting other people's games when I like analyze them? But then at the same time I was like, well, are they the same as Coda?
Well, but see, Coda didn't put his games out there for people to see.
And so that's the difference. So I was sitting there for a few minutes being like, am I respecting other people's video games? And then I like thought back to all my interactions with different developers and stuff. And each time they've always been like, no, like, I'm really glad that you actually like give a shit about my game.
And that you look for all this stuff, because that's like what usually... That's one of the things that people want when they, like, release their games to the public, is they want people to care.
However, Coda didn't want that to happen. He only wanted to share these things with his friends.
No, actually, he didn't share them with anybody. He, like, shared them with, like, just the guy.
Yeah.
And then the guy went and, like, shared them with everybody else. So, like, they actually weren't even created for, like,
Anybody.
the wider public. They were just created for him. And then he went and psychoanalyzed the shit out of Coda, and like said a bunch of things about him, like said he was depressed and all of these things. And it's like, that's so rude.
Like, even if you were depressed, you'd be like,
why is that your approach?
yeah, like, oh,
Horrible approach.
like when he said like, oh, and then I shared it with everybody and I felt so good. I was like, really, dude? Go fuck
Yeah,
yourself.
because I did a good thing, because I'm a good person.
That's how I feel when they're like never before released stories written by J.D. Salinger. Wait, am I saying that? Is that the right guy?
Yeah.
And I'm like, but he didn't want you to read those. Like,
I'm not familiar with that situation.
well, like, you know how, okay, I think they found a bunch of stories written by him that he never wanted to be, like, released.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, basically people are like, well, we found them. We're printing them. I'm like,
yeah,
I want to read it, but he said he didn't want you to, so.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know. And then.
And if you look at the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, you know how the guy that wrote those books, the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, Girl Who Kicked the Hornet's Nest, he died, and they actually enlisted another author to write another book. I
Ew.
know.
Wait, past the series or not, or to complete the series?
Past the series,
No.
I think.
No.
And
No.
I don't know, like, too much. I can't, like, get into, like, much more specifics, but I just wanted to bring it up because it raises an interesting question of, like, when the original creator dies.
And doesn't give permission.
Yes. Well,
Sometimes
I don't-
creators do give permission.
yeah, sometimes they do, but I don't know, like, I don't know all of those specifics, so I can't say, but just, like, the question becomes, is it, like, if a creator dies, what do you do with their stuff after that? Because, like, there's, like, unreleased songs, there's, unreleased, unfinished works. Like, do you enlist somebody to finish the work? Is that what they would have wanted? How do you know? Who's the best person to say what they would have wanted? Is it their spouse? Is it their publisher? Like,
Who knows?
yeah. Anyways, I'm really glad we played this. I thought it was very interesting.
I'm really glad we finished it, because Stacy and I, we were like, no, let's not finish it. And then Stacy was like, oh, it's only an hour and a half long. And I was like, okay, like, we may as well finish. And she was like, okay. Like, I was really totally down with not finishing it, because I was feeling really frustrated.
I know, you were like, we're just going to make this a long, quick look. This fucking sucks.
Yeah, but though, like, I love that I was wrong, though. Like, I really am, like, super happy that I was wrong, because it, like, totally, like, was like, no, you're stupid. And I was like, I am stupid. I love it. I don't know. It's just, I really like it. And I felt like sometimes when people, I know that Stacy and I are super real on our Let's Plays, and we say all these things that have happened to us, but, you should probably realize that we only admit to, like, 10% of the weirdest shit that we've done, or, like, things that have happened to us, or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, there's, like, still, like, really big things that have happened to us that we don't talk to you guys about at all.
Yeah, like...
At all.
Not even close. Like, if you're like, no, Mari, I know about that one thing, I'm like, no. Yeah. Like, I know it feels like you know everything about us.
Especially to the people who've, like, watched all of our videos. Thank you, by the way. If you are one of those people, because that's really awesome.
No, we super duper appreciate it. And, I know that we're really super honest about anything. And, you're always welcome to come to us and be like, just talk to us and be like, I'm feeling sad or whatever or blah, blah, blah.
I feel like I relate to you. Like, can you talk to me about this?
Yeah, I love it. What I don't like is when people try to diagnose me, try to psychoanalyze me, and try to do all this stuff. And I'm like, listen, I've had all that done already by a team of professionals. I know who I am, okay? And I know what I like, and I know what I don't like, and blah, blah, blah. That's already taken care of for me. Thank you. So, and that's what the part of the game where I was like, love it.
Yeah.
And that's probably the reason why I was getting so annoyed at that guy. That he wasn't letting Coda speak for himself. And I was like, why isn't he just letting us play the game? Like, he keeps...
And then he's like, oh, pff,
yeah, I'm crazy!
and I just realized it. Oh, fuck!
Yes, I loved it. That one part, he was like, I don't know how to say I'm sorry, but I'm just doing it again. Oh, man, blah, blah, blah. I'm so obsessed with you. Like, I'm really obsessed with you. And I was like, oh, my God. This is so good. All right. I love it. Okay. The end. Bye, guys.
Bye.